So I feel that oftentimes in life we blame situations, circumstances, people, environments, things that happen to us in our childhood for why things aren't the way we want them to be. Why this group of people don't like us, why we didn't get the promotion, why we don't have any friends, why we haven't ventured out to pursue that opportunity. There's some kind of action that we want to take, and it's very easy for us to blame elements of our life for that. And I'm saying here that I feel like we are the biggest threat to our own life, to why we haven't progressed in a certain direction, to why we haven't opened ourselves to certain opportunities.
I want to follow up here and add in, I don't want to dismiss or override the significance of our life circumstances, our families, experiences, opportunities, upbringing, skin color, ability levels, and so much more. All of the dynamics that build us up and comprise our identity and how we move and operate in this world. They all play a very huge factor in how our lives turn out and the paths we wind up taking. But, I still feel that we only have control over our own lives. We have been given one life to have control over, and that's our own. Our mental atmosphere, the choices and decisions we make, our actions, our emotions, the intent here with this message is to put the power back into our own lives, into our own hands, and to look to ourselves, to encourage ourselves, to look inward and look to the power we possess for the answers and the direction for our lives.
So I'm going to list here 4 areas that I feel hold us back and make us a threat. So number 1 is limiting beliefs. So limiting beliefs are these fixed, quite immovable, rigid ideas and mental constructs that we have about life. So they are often false and they are very powerful, and they are formed by like our society, the communities that we belong to, the philosophies or even religions that we come from, our family, our friend groups. These are constructs or beliefs that we hold on to, and they dictate the patterns and the habits that we have for our lives and how we live. I would certainly lump into limiting beliefs like our fears, our prejudices, and those limiting beliefs can really hurt us. Like one limiting belief that I feel like I've had for my life is just feeling that things have to happen by a certain age or a certain time. For example, from a young age, I had always wanted to be a teacher. And then when I finally got into the program, I didn't pass, and I kind of felt very discouraged. And I felt like, oh, it should happen on the first try. Like I should have passed on the first try. Maybe that's a sign that I'm not supposed to be in the program, or I should go in a different direction. And then so having that kind of belief prolonged my journey into teaching so much longer, in fact 7 years longer than it needed to be. I think the antidote to a limiting belief, and it's very challenging and it's very hard and it doesn't come overnight, is to keep an open mind. The very way that life moves is in such a way that it's fluid, that it's unpredictable, that it changes. There's a type of whimsy with life and a precariousness about life that we cannot determine. And I feel that staying open really helps. And I feel like one way that we can be open is by keeping our minds free and flexible to different lifestyles, different people, looking at other people's journeys. Like, do you know someone older than you who it took them longer to achieve a certain goal, or maybe they had kids at a later age than someone else? Like looking at other people's lives and using that as an example. Everything in life anyway is an example for us to behold for ourselves. Another area where we can threaten the course and direction of our life and stifle ourselves from growing is not having a clear idea of our purpose, of our values, of our intentions, our motivations, our goals, our vision, our boundaries. I have found that in my life, not having a a fixed idea of what my boundaries are sometimes has led me astray or has gotten me into the wrong relationships and wasted a couple of months of my life, either obsessing over something that a partner did that really hurt me, because maybe that wasn't someone that I should have given the green light to be in my life or have that much access over my life anyway. If we don't know our values and our morals and what we stand for, then it'll be easy for us to fall for anything. When someone comes into our life and they say, hey, do this, take this, come with me, it's easy to follow that person because we don't have a fixed idea of what direction we want our life to go. So I feel it's really important to constantly be doing a self-assessment and a values assessment of what is important to us, what is significant, what do we want our lives to look like presently and into the future, and just constantly checking in to make sure that we are staying on course. When we know our values, when we know the things we stand for, then we're really able to implement structures and mitigate distractions and things that would lead us astray. Another idea that I have in here is the importance of self-work, and within that I will put self-regulation. So in order to figure out what your values and what your boundaries are and what your intentions and motivations are, of course we learn that throughout the course of our lives, but we get to those places quicker when we spend more time with ourselves. Spending time with ourselves, reflecting, journaling, being intentional about knowing who we are, what's important to us, what we stand for. I think in terms of self-regulation, like having that emotional balance and homeostasis and feeling at peace and centered within ourselves, in the sense that we are not outsourcing our emotional life and emotional fulfillment to people, to things, to careers, to partners, to family members, aspects of life being a certain way. I feel like the self-work, the self-regulation comes from within, comes from practices that we have to grow our inner world and to find inner strength. It's important to reflect and know what our emotional wounds are so that they don't keep triggering and re-triggering us, and so that we find healing. A few years ago, I was in a relationship with someone who had an amazing musical talent, extremely gifted composer, and as I was dating him, I discovered that he had quite some wounds inside of him around feeling secure in his craft, feeling acknowledged, very performance-based emotional wounds that probably stemmed from his childhood and the community that was around him. And often those wounds would get in the way of our relationship or the time that we spent together, and even in the way of his own music, because at points, he would spend time feeling distraught and sad about his position in life when it came to his music career, rather than opening himself up to new opportunities. And in a way, that emotional baggage, in a sense, I feel, hindered him from really opening up his world to all of the people and the opportunities that were around him. And just like even opening up his world to a healthier relationship towards his craft, to his passion. And that's why I feel like healing and healing spaces are very important. Spending time with yourself, digging into journaling, meditation, praying, reading wisdom literature, going to workshops and talks where you're developing yourself so that you are removing those blockages and those limiting beliefs, or at least exposing them so that you are aware of them and they don't hold you back. Sometimes I can feel like a threat to my own life because as more of an introvert, reserved personality, it's very easy for me to have excuses and reasons for why I shouldn't do something or join something or meet these people or attend that class. And I think a lot of the time too, and this is where the values come in, I place staying within my comfort zone, feeling safe and comfortable, I place that as a higher value than exploring life and meeting people and growing deeper in myself because of those experiences. So I want to encourage you to sit with this idea today, sit with this idea for some weeks, for a month, and just really resonate and marinate in this thinking that oftentimes we are our own threat. We are our own worst enemy. We are our obstacle to our own life. My name is Imo, and this is my channel In My Opinion. And if you are interested in more on the fly perspectives like this, please comment, like, and subscribe to support my channel.